Does this all just feel a little deja vu right now?
A little bit, especially with all the news coming out when we were in Colorado. But seems like they're doing everything they can to figure out a path to playing the full season and going about it the right way. So.
Golan said he wants you guys to, really take a mental break while you guys are away from the ice this season. Just, there's not really much you can do, just focus on what you can focus. Do you feel that way too?
Yeah, I mean, we've played a lot of games here. We've had a pretty hectic road schedule. Obviously, the team's a little bit banged up, a little sick and tired. A little sick and tired of being sick and tired, so a good few days to get healthy and kind of hit the reset button. That being said, guys are still excited to get on the ice. Excited to practice, honestly. We just haven't had a lot of practice time, so. And obviously, we've won a handful of games, so it's always easier coming to the rink when you're winning. So.
Is Chris, when guys are trying to see family and take this time to enjoy themselves, get away from hockey for a few days, is it kind of like weird to still have in the back of your mind, like, I gotta watch how many people I'm exposed to? You want to make sure when you come back you're ready to hit the ground running and not testing positive or anything. Is that sort of a concern?
Well, it's been in the back of our mind since this whole thing started. So it's just something we live with and everyone lives with at this point. So.
Chris, when you look at the team so far, what are some of the things that stand out that you appreciate about this year's team so far?
I think how quickly we came together, how guys really bought in to the culture we're trying to build here. That winning is the ultimate priority, and do whatever it takes to win. Not necessarily going to have your best every single night, but our ability to find ways to win and to be resilient, I mean, that's important. Good teams find ways to win games even when they might not be clicking at 100%. So I think it was a really good beginning to the year for us, and we've got to build on that and continue to get better.
For you guys in particular, obviously COVID has affected everybody in the league differently, but when you think back to 2019-20 when the season was suspended, you guys were on a roll, you guys were doing really well. This season now, you had an explosive start to the season, and now everything is happening. Is it at all frustrating, even though it affects everybody, just for you guys in particular, just to not be able to get going here?
Well, we knew we were going to have a few days off here. Ultimately, one game has been postponed. So that's something that we can really think about. We knew we had this break coming up regardless, so it's hopefully it doesn't get extended too far beyond the holidays. And we'll be back on the 27th, but right now we just, like I said, focus on resting up, getting healthy, and being ready for the replay on the 27th. Game on the 27th. Detroit. I know, we're worried about the Christmas break. We're worried about enjoying a few days off with our family, getting away from the rink, and then we're worried about Detroit, the 26th when we get back.
Chris, what about, the other question is the Olympics. Now, I don't know, I guess we'll wait and find out, if you guys are going, but as a guy who's in the pool and in the mix, and, what are your feelings about this? I mean, would you still want to go? Would you want to go if it's up to you? How do you feel about all that?
I mean, there's so much information out there, and it's so touch and go at this point. It's really hard to comment on. I mean, being able to represent your country at any level, whether it's under 16, 18, World Juniors, World Championships, anything, pulling on the U.S. jersey is incredibly special and something that you dream of as a kid. So I don't think many people are balking the chance to represent their country at the Olympics, but ultimately it has to make sense. That's something that us as players in the union and the league and everyone has got to come together and figure out over the next few weeks. So, hard to comment on it right now.
Yeah. Do you have any sense of when somebody will say something when we should be waiting for an announcement at some point?
Again, it's touch and go. I mean, we're waiting on more information. We're waiting to see what the protocol is going to look like when we come back after Christmas break. It's hard to get out in front and predict anything right now with the state of things, right? So I guess we're kind of in limbo and taking that wait and see approach.
Chris, separate topic for you. When you think about Ryan Lindgren and the role he plays for you guys, the role he plays in the locker room, just all around what he means to you guys, what comes to mind for you?
I'm not very happy with Ryan right now.
The beard? Yeah.
I thought he was going to trim it. I didn't think he was going to take it off. But he does look good. He has a good jawline. We haven't seen it in a long time. I mean, he's an unbelievable guy. One of those foxhole guys, one of those cool guys that you love having in the room. And you know exactly what you're going to get out of him as a person, as a teammate, as a friend, as a player. And he did so many things for us on the ice. Plays in pretty much all situations. 5-on-5, huge penalty kill minutes, and obviously defending leads. And, I think his offensive game in the last few years has progressed, taken huge strides. So he's the kind of, he reminds me a lot of some of the defensemen we had here early on in my career, where he's just so reliable, and the kind of guys that you want on your team.
You joke about the beard. He seems like a guy, and a few guys have said this, that like he's loose, you can joke with him, he has thick skin with that stuff, but then when the game comes, he flips it. Like, it seems like he kind of fits all that. He's fun when he needs to be, but he's also serious when he needs to be.
Yeah, definitely. When the puck's dropped, you know he's going to play hard-nosed. But he's one of those guys that, you know, practice days in the room, on the road, he's loose, he's lighthearted, he's, like you said, an easy guy to joke around with. And, yeah, he's a phenomenal guy to have in the room. Can't say enough good things about Ryan.
Chris, if forgetting COVID for a minute, just looking at the 30 games that you guys have played, you've arrived at Christmas break. You know, the way you're playing at this point now, everybody, you know, like Igor's back and Artemi's back. If you can start the season on time on Sunday or Monday, whatever it is, what do you feel like is possible for you guys in the post-Christmas part of the schedule?
Well, we've put ourselves in a decent spot. 30 games in, this is where we want to be. We want to be in the hunt. But it's something that we've emphasized over the beginning of the year. Just taking it one day at a time and continue to try to improve and get better. I think I've said a few times, our game right now compared to what it was, 10 games in, 20 games in, I think that's the most exciting thing, is that we've shown signs of improvement, I think, over those stretches, and that's ultimately the most important thing over an 82-game season. It's that balancing act between finding ways to win games and also steadily improving, taking what you can from some of the games you might not have played as well and not gotten the result you wanted, continuing to try to get better as a team, because everyone else in the league is going to use those 82 to get better and be playing some of their best hockey towards the end of the year. Those are the teams that are ultimately going to be in the playoffs and have deep runs. So just continuing to improve, I think, is the thing that we need to focus on, not being content with where we are 30 games in, because it's only 30 games in.
As an individual, how do you feel you're playing? What, if anything, is different in your game this season as compared to past seasons? And how do you feel like you were doing?
I think everything I just said about the team applies to my own personal game. Good start. I think I'm steadily improving, but there's room for improvement. I got to continue to look to improve and not be content and happy with where I'm at. I've enjoyed being in a position to help our team defend leads at the end of games, getting a little bit of penalty kill time. It's something that I'm taking a lot of pride in and really enjoyed, and want to continue to improve at. I think that's something that I can be good at. And I definitely think that there's more to my game, and I think basically everything that I said about the team applies to me individually. And I think a lot of the guys would echo that about their own games. We just want to keep on getting better.
You're 1-for-1 on shootout attempts. Maybe you should take some more shootout.
There's a reason I won number 8. Right?
You and me could play together for so long, and you had Booch for so many years and stuff. Has finding that third guy for your line been sort of a journey for you guys this year? And do you think that be that guy for you?
I mean, Capo's done a terrific job. I think at the end of the day, we just have to take the same approach regardless of who we're playing with. Constant communication, just so that everyone can be on the same page as quickly as possible, regardless of how long we played for, or played together for, rather. And I think, Meek would say the same thing. Like, we just need to do the things individually that we've found success doing. That we, know make us good players. Don't try to do things. Don't try to be something that we're not. I think that makes it easier, regardless of who you're playing with, for other guys to read off you. So just trying to be consistent in doing the things that make you the kind of player that you are, and ultimately communicating, regardless of what line you're on or who you're playing with, what position.
I'm wondering if you guys, if you and Mika specifically, with Capo, kind of found that in the last couple games before we all showed up.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a couple of good games, but this is a league where, again, I think a lot of the things that I've said apply here as well. You can't be content or happy with your last game. It's the next game, it's the next day, and you got to continue to improve. So, yeah, I mean, we found some success offensively the last couple of games, but we have to build on that. Other teams watch tape too. Can't be a one-trick pony. We're going to continue to play top lines. We haven't really played our division all that much. There's some pretty heavy hitters in our division, so we got to be ready for those games. And like I said, probably a dozen times now, just got to continue to improve.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Chris.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.